All right, everybody. It's time for another edition of Overreaction Monday, Week 16. The bulk of it is in the books as of this recording. Whether you're watching us on the Rich Eisen Show YouTube channel, maybe the cut-down version on ESPN2, perhaps you're listening wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Rich Eisen along with Chris Brockman.
Hey,
Good
Rich.
to see you, Chris.
Great to see you, man.
I just get the sense again when weeks 15 like last week or 16 this week hit, every snap has a sense of urgency that you just didn't feel the month before or the 2 months before, even though every game counts in this league.
You know, it's like watching a playoff baseball game where, you're watching middle of June, guy gets on first, runs the scoring position, whatever. Playoff baseball, like, oh, God, season's over.
Season's done. Somebody reaches first base to lead off the second. Season's done. And in May, it's like, whatever. But here, it just feels every snap has a sense of urgency, or in the case of some teams, desperation. And Week 16 was one of the best regular season weeks I can remember. Good. I can't wait to see or hear about what you have on your piece of paper. Hit it.
That was terrible. That was crap. That was garbage. This place sucks.
Overreaction Monday.
All right, Christopher, what do you have for me?
Every window of football had something crazy. The Thursday night game was wild. The Saturday night game, the way it finished was unbelievable. But I want to start with Sunday night because you know what it involves, Rich. Drake May, the New England Patriots, an amazing comeback.
Yes.
The road to the Super Bowl in the AFC goes through Foxborough.
I think that is an overreaction, sir. That is an overreaction. Now, I will say this. You would for it to go through Foxborough, are you talking about literally, or just you're saying that they're going to make the Super Bowl?
I'm saying they're going to be the 1 seed.
Okay. So Denver has the tiebreak over New England, which means they would have to lose one of two games. Christmas night against now a third-string quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs?
That seems unlikely.
All right, so
but Week 18
you need Harbaugh to go into Denver and win that game.
That's what I'm talking about.
And the Chargers would have an opportunity to win the division in that case. Now, there's the thorny issue of a team you didn't see coming in the Jacksonville Jaguars. And New England has to deal potentially with Jacksonville, which has a visit to Indianapolis left, and then a home date with Tennessee remaining. And New England has a trip to the Jets and a home date with Miami. And those you should like your chances. So you would need Denver to lose to the Chargers in Week 18.
Yeah, I'm calling my shot on that one.
Okay. I just gave you all the possibles, and there's too many variables for me to be sitting here after Week 16 and saying, you're absolutely right. They are 100% going to be the 1 seed. That was a huge win for New England in Baltimore, especially since Baltimore was leading in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And then once again did another of their head scratchers in December or January that involves Derrick Henry now. I mean,
why was he not out there?
That's now twice where you're wondering, why didn't he get any touches in a championship game?
Yep.
And they lose, and then you're wondering, why did he disappear, get no touches in the final 12 minutes of regulation on Sunday night? I don't know.
I mean, I know he had the fumble, but he was still kind of shredding them.
He crushed them.
Yeah.
He's the one who put them up and then disappeared. It was Keaton Mitchell's time in the rotation, and I just don't understand that. But this is about the Patriots having a resiliency, having the ability to bounce back. Drake May had more passing yards in the first half than he did in the entire game against Buffalo in that Week 15 loss. And, Stephon Diggs showed up again in a primetime game. They lose Travion Henderson. Ramondre Stevenson is the one who scores the go-ahead touchdown. This is a team that's got all the pieces going and potentially as a coach of the year for 2025. I mean, Vrabel is 100% in that mix. Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen, are others, just to name two others. There's Kyle Shanahan, who could wind up the 1 seed too.
Yeah, no one's talking about him.
Nobody is talking about the 49ers. We will see how the 49ers finish, because that is a massive Week 17 Sunday nighter against the Chicago Bears, who are in the mix for the 1 seed in the NFC as well. I'm all over the map here, but I'll call this an overreaction for the moment. The Denver Broncos did get hit in the mouth, and the Jacksonville Jaguars showed up a salty bunch. And if they did not blow that 19-point lead,
we're going to talk about Jacksonville later
in Houston in week number 10, they would be undefeated since I called their loss in London to the Rams, that boat race loss. They look nothing like the team that I saw in London. They have been stupendous, and Trevor Lawrence is playing his best football of his career right now. So all of that together, with Denver getting a get-right game in front of the whole country in the Thursday night football finale of the season against the Kansas City Chiefs team that is falling completely apart at the seams all of a sudden, I'll call this an overreaction,
okay.
Chris. What else?
Let's go to Saturday night because we've never seen a way that the way the Bears are doing it, dude. The Bears, Rich, they're a team of destiny. They're going to win the NFC.
I can't push back on this one, and I know I've been in wait-and-see mode quite a bit, where I'm with the Bears throughout their stretch from their Week 6 bye. That I've been saying this for quite a long time. Week 5 bye, pardon me. That I need to see it, right?
Yeah, that's been the phrase that pays.
I need to see it. Certainly since they lost at Baltimore in Week 8, I was firm in that conviction.
That was against Snoop Huntley,
after
too.
the Week 10 game against Weeks 9 and 10 games against Cincinnati, where Colston Loveland had to break free after Joe Flacco gave the Bengals the lead on the Bears, and then the Giants came in, and that was the end of Brian Daboll's administration because the Giants had a massive lead that the Bears came back in. I'm like, I need to see a full game from them. And then it happened at Philadelphia the day after Thanksgiving. And then they lose in Green Bay, where a pick by Keyshawn Nixon in the end zone ends the comeback attempt for Chicago, who bounces back in a complete game against Cleveland. And then this game against Green Bay, where they were once again down. And then of all people, for Caleb Williams to throw the touchdown pass over to DJ Moore, it was the same guy who picked him 2 weeks prior in Keyshawn Nixon. And this is why they feel like a team of destiny. I'll give you this stat, too. That the Chicago Bears now have more come-from-behind wins in the final 2 minutes of regulation of this season. 6 than they had total wins last season. 5.
That's awesome.
That's how you feel like you're a team of destiny.
No doubt.
You also lead the league in takeaways. You feel like you're a team of destiny. And those are 2 stats that always get somebody saying, yeah, but how many times can you count on that? How many times can that rabbit be pulled out of the comeback/takeaway hat? And the answer is, well, 6 for the comeback.
I literally
wins.
have an answer to this question.
Exactly. The answer is 6.
It just keeps happening.
For the comeback wins. And in terms of the takeaways, let me get the exact number of that because I have that right here. The exact number of takeaways that they have had this season is, the Jaguars have 28, so they're second behind the Bears in that regard. So the Bears have gotten a remarkable number of takeaways this season.
They're everywhere.
So whatever that number is, that's how many times they could do it. And they can keep doing it again and again and again. And they're going to earn it. They will have earned it at the end of the day because they've got another massive game against the 49ers and then one against the Lions that may or may not even matter anymore to the Lions. It may not matter anymore.
They did it without 2 of their best pass catchers, Roma Dunze. Luther Burden has been really coming on. And look, a Caleb Williams signature moment, we got it. Maybe the throw of the year, 60 yards in the air. I thought the coolest thing about that, I don't know if you saw any of the close-up replays, he throws it and then immediately sticks his hands in his hand warmers because either he was that cold or he's figuratively that cold because he knew it was about to be a touchdown. That was awesome.
It was a 46-yarder, first career overtime touchdowns for either one on either end, Williams and Moore.
It was sick.
And it's the first career overtime win for Caleb Williams. So they should feel like a team of destiny. And you look at the NFC standings and the team that's behind them, right? The Eagles, they've beaten them. They've beaten the Packers once now. They could beat the Lions again. I mean, they have a chance at beating the 49ers. You can't sit here and say, well, who have they really played and been tested against? They went into Philadelphia, the 3 seed, and won. They've now beaten the Packers, which is big for them because they've hardly done it in the LaFleur era. And they could bag the 49ers before the end of the day, too. So I can't push back on this, that they're a team of destiny and they're winning the NFC. Obviously, the Seahawks, the Rams, the Niners.
Oh, yeah, of course. NFC's stacked.
The Eagles even can win the NFC, too.
The Bears just have that feel to them this year.
So.
Happy for Bears fans. Happy for Seth Rollins. He really loves football.
Okay, he certainly does. What else you got?
I want to go to
there?
the other side of that game because we saw Jordan Love go down, took a big hit. Malik Willis also a little banged up coming out of that. Packers are going in the wrong direction. They're going to miss the playoffs.
Here's the deal, man. They've got the Ravens in their house next. The Ravens lose, they're out. And if the Packers lose twice, then they're out if the Lions win twice.
Right.
Lions have got to win twice. And right now they haven't been able to tie their own shoes. That's all they've done is just alternated wins and losses. Mm-hmm. And this was their first final back-to-back loss of the year against the Steelers. So for the Packers to miss the playoffs, they're going to have to lose at home to the Ravens. Now, I don't know if Jordan Love's going to play, but Malik Willis had that game won for him. I mean, again, Green Bay had that game won. They're up 16-6. Romeo Doubs grabs that. I mean, honestly, it's an 8% chance of getting an onside kick converted. So it's a 92% chance that they were going to get the ball back. And instead, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Whatever that, I don't know what the odds are, but it's got to be less than 1% of a quarterback mishandling a snap from center, underneath the center. I mean, what are the odds of that? It's got to be like 90,
probably less than 1%.
Less than 1%.
Yeah.
And those things hit for Green Bay. I mean, and they defensively kept Caleb Williams and the Bears out of the end zone over the first 58 minutes of the game without Micah. I don't think they're going to lose to the Ravens at home. I think the Ravens are going to be out. And I think the Packers make the playoffs. Okay. And so I'll just call this a quick snap overreaction.
Quick snap. Okay.
And I just don't know what's going to happen when Jordan Love gets back. And, and at the end of the day, they may not even need to play their starters at Minnesota. Just rest some of these guys. They are so injury marred now. They're so
Josh Jacobs didn't finish the game.
They're so, I mean, that one was a mystery as well because LaFleur after the game goes, I don't know if he was hurt or not. I hadn't heard. And it's just again, I don't understand how head coaches stand on the sidelines and don't know this unless they're just not being 100% straight up after the game because they want to hide the fact that maybe Josh is particularly
he was on crutches on Monday.
I get it. But the Packers are just not missing the playoffs.
Okay.
It would be a stunner. The Lions have to win out and the Packers have to lose out. The Packers would have to finish the season losing 4 in a row. I just don't see that happening. And right now they're playing better football than the Ravens are. And Lamar may be out. I don't know what that was, taking a knee to his back that just looked, again, it's not my back. It's not my side. Taking a knee.
Pretty bad, though.
It certainly looked pretty bad, but when he went down, it just looked like a normal takedown of a quarterback. But the Packers are not missing the playoffs. They may be a 7th seed, and they may be one and done again. Maybe in, of all places, Philadelphia again. Or maybe Chicago could take care of him. Again.
A third Bears-Packers matchup. That's pretty fun. Sign me up for that.
Yes. What else?
All right, I want to put my hand up, Rich. We're both over 40. We're men. And men admit when they're wrong. And before the season and in this offseason, I didn't think this was going to work.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be an abject failure and end in disaster. Hand up. The Steelers and Mike Tomlin are going to end their playoff win drought. Rodgers has played well, man.
If I'm the Steelers,
they've rallied the troops. They've done it.
If I'm the Steelers and their fans, they need to have the playoffs start next week. You know what I mean?
I do.
Okay. Because going into Cleveland is not, you can't just throw that one on the board, man. Listen, I understand how Cleveland has just been shooting themselves in the foot.
I mean, they could have beat Buffalo on Sunday.
I know.
I mean, when high register.
That thing was in doubt.
Was.
Buffalo just couldn't put Cleveland away.
Yep.
And here comes, Myles Garrett, 1 sack away from needing the record. I think he's going to get it. It was, you just don't want to be that quarterback who's the victim, if you will, because that's going to get played forevermore. And it's interesting. It could be Aaron Rodgers. But the Steelers have been protecting him, and he's been protecting himself. And the way the Steelers look, I'm going to say this on the flagship show as well, is this looks like the Rodgers of old where he is moving well. He's throwing it well. He's making decisions that are just stupendous, neck up, right? And on top of it, his teammates are now making plays for him.
Mm-hmm.
The running backs have home run ability, both of them.
Big time.
Jalen Warren, 2 running touchdowns, and Kenneth Gainwell, a remarkable grab out of the air with 2 seconds to go before the half. And DK Metcalf, I think, is going to get suspended, and I think that's going to happen fast. And it may actually have happened before people actually hear this out of the sound of my voice, because he made contact with a fan. My goodness gracious. But all that said, the Steelers should make the playoffs. They should, if they do, host a playoff game. Now, that's where the thorny issue is about winning one. The Chargers could be the ones coming in. If the Chargers somehow win the division,
could Buffalo.
Just to bring this back to full circle, the way we started the show, where you think that the Patriots are going to be the 1 seed. If the Patriots are the 1 seed, it's entirely possible that the Broncos become the 5.
Ooh, that's fun.
And it's the Broncos that go into Pittsburgh.
I like that.
Or it's the Chargers that go into Pittsburgh. Or it's the Bills that go into Pittsburgh. Those are some really stout opponents that could absolutely one and done the Steelers too. But the way that they are playing, they've won 2. And again, they'd only won, prior to TJ Watt missing the last 2 games, they were 1-11 in the 12 games that TJ Watt has missed in his career for the Steelers. They've now won 2 in a row. They've now doubled the number of wins that they've ever had in the previous 12 times that they were without TJ Watt. That's now twice in which they have come together as a unit and played some stout football and hit people in the mouth like old school Steelers.
Yep.
So they're looking really good, and they are looking playoff worthy, unlike the last few teams that limped into the playoffs as a wild card team to go one and done on the road.
Right.
This does have a different feel to it.
does.
So I
It
understand the spirit of this.
Sure.
But I'll still call this an overreaction that they're going to break their playoff win drought, because that's a tall order against the 5 seed, because they're going to be the 4, regardless of who wins the AFC North. They will be the 4 seed hosting. I think, again, with the Ravens losing last night at home to New England to fall to 3-6 at home this season, the Steelers have a better chance to win a home playoff game out of the 2 remaining teams to make the AFC North championship, lead to a home playoff game for them. But still, I think whoever comes in could absolutely win that game, making this an overreaction at the moment.
All right, let's do it. Let's talk about Duval, Rich. Trevor Lawrence is playing like a top 5 quarterback. The Jags are legit Super Bowl contenders. He looks awesome. This is what we envisioned when we saw him play Clemson, number 1 pick in the draft, thought he was going to be a dynamite franchise quarterback. This is the guy we were thinking about.
Yeah, I can't say this is anything but a proper reaction right now. You can't sit here and say that team that's second in the league in takeaways and has Trevor Lawrence playing the best football of his career and Liam Cohen saying things with his chest and having his team back.
Boy,
it
is
up,
he ever.
that they're not legitimate Super Bowl contenders. You can't say that. Can't say it. And Trevor Lawrence is playing like a top 5 quarterback. He is elusive. He's creating touchdowns with his legs and with his arm. And also what appears to be, again, I'm not, as you know, the old all 22 guy.
Tapehead. Tapehead Eisen is what they call you.
I think he's doing it with his neck up too. He's making some terrific decisions.
Yeah.
4 straight games now with 2 or more offensive touchdowns and no giveaways. That's the longest stretch of his career. 22 offensive touchdowns following the Week 8 bye. That's second most in the NFL in that span. And in terms of playing the best football of his career, and this is the guy that Jacksonville wanted to see when they drafted him first overall. He's got a career-high 26 touchdown passes going into the final 2 games of this season. Parker Washington is making grabs. He's got now 4 receiving touchdowns this year. He had 5 in the 2 previous seasons combined. They're doing it without Brian Thomas Jr., who, despite having an absolutely off year, tied Allen Robinson for the most receptions by a Jaguar player in their first 2 seasons in franchise history. Travis Etienne Jr. is playing like the guy
Amazing.
that the Jaguars thought they would get when they drafted him.
Yep. in the first round.
Right, in the first round.
with Lawrence. Yeah.
Right, with Lawrence.
Jacoby Myers, that trade,
That's
and that move has been phenomenal.
13 scrimmage touchdowns for ETN. That's a career high. It's all working. They had their 9th game of 2025 with 2 or more takeaways as well. And they went into Denver, which is arguably the toughest place to play.
Yep.
I mean, the number of times where the broadcast team was like, you can't hear in here. I have been there. I was there for an AFC championship game, Broncos and Jets. My ears were ringing walking out of Mile High like I had just seen a rock concert. It is that loud. They went into that spot, a salty bunch, and hit the Denver Broncos in the mouth. I'll give you a couple more stats right here. The Broncos had the number one red zone defense entering Week 16. Jacksonville went 4 for 5 in the red zone in the game. The Broncos allowed a season-high 34 points in Week 16. That's the most points they've allowed since Week 16 of last year. Denver's now 4-1 trailing in the fourth quarter in 2025. They were the only NFL team to be undefeated when trailing entering the fourth quarter, so the Jaguars staved that off. The Broncos had the number one third down defense entering Week 16. The Jaguars went 8 of 15 on third down.
Whew.
They did it all against a defense that's the best at all the things there's usually not supposed to do it all against. That makes sense.
It does.
So check every box, measuring stick. Check every box about showing heart, gumption, guts. The Jaguars are playing like legit Super Bowl contenders because Trevor Lawrence is playing like a top 5 quarterback. This is not an overreaction. This is the real deal, and Jaguars fans should be out of their skulls about how it's all going down in 2025.
All right.
Did I back
You
up
did.
what I said?
Absolutely,
I mean, these
man.
are all facts, dude.
Absolutely. And I like it. Trevor's a good guy, man. I want him to succeed.
And his hair is perfect.
Oh, my goodness.
You know what I mean?
You know, I had a take last year. He should have cut the hair. You know what? He was right.
Not at all.
Don't cut it.
Matter of fact.
Don't cut it.
You know, again, in the same way that he's probably using a shampoo and conditioner in one, he's throwing and passing for touchdowns.
Look at you.
And running for touchdowns.
Look at you.
That's like his shampoo and conditioner. Okay.
This guy had 4 touchdowns yesterday on Sunday. It's too bad it was in a meaningless game. And we've been hearing him talk now for weeks, and something is definitely going on. Joe Burrow should force his way out of Cincinnati this offseason.
I don't understand. He just had the best game of his season.
So, meaningless.
It all worked out.
They have 5 wins.
So now he should force his way out of Cincinnati?
They had 5 wins against a team that's quit on their season.
Where's he going to go that has Jamar Chase there and T. Higgins there and Chase Brown next to him? Where's he going to? Why would he leave that?
What is it getting him? What is it getting him?
This year is a lost season because he listen, man.
And last year was a lost season.
Again, I don't know if you saw. Did you see NFL Game Day morning on Sunday? You probably
I saw
didn't.
bits and pieces.
Okay, Santa Mooch came down the chimney.
I do. I love Santa Mooch.
You know, he gave me a book.
What was the book?
It's an actual book about the life and times of Jake Browning. It actually exists.
No way.
I don't know how the producers found it. I swear to
serious?
God, it's the truth.
That's hilarious.
Because they made fun of me saying that Jake Browning. I love Jake Browning so much. Here's a book about him. Okay.
I hope you read it.
I left it at work. Okay. I wasn't bringing it in here. I wasn't bringing it to
Come on.
NFL Network. All right. I forgot. I thought I should bring it to the show. But long story short is I was off on that. And Jake Browning was off, and all he had to do was go 500 and hand the team back to Joe Burrow in week, Thanksgiving, and they'd be close to 500. Instead, the margin for error was gone. And listen, I know we don't know what's going on behind the scenes there, but they're all married for one more year. And, I know everybody was saying on the Sunday shows and Pelissero and Ian, certainly on NFL Network, that 2026 is a massive year. Because, again, that's, I believe, Zach Taylor's last year of his contract. I bet you the Bengals won't extend him. And we'll see how it works. But he's not forcing his way out of Cincinnati this offseason. It's just not going to happen.
The team they played against needs a quarterback. They have an offensive head coach. They have a lot of explosive weapons.
You would really leave Cincinnati and his situation with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Chase Brown and Zach Taylor, who can dial it up clearly, as you saw yesterday. You think it would be better for him to go to Miami? For real.
Mike McDaniel,
for real.
Devin Achane, Jalen Waddle, and if Tyreek Hill comes back, Darren Waller looks good.
I don't think Tyreek Hill's coming back, and I don't know if Mike McDaniel's going to come back. I know everybody says he's safe. We will see. I don't know.
What about Vegas?
Well, Vegas? Would you really want to go there? Dude.
He could handpick a new head coach.
Let me repeat.
Ashton Genty, Brock Bowers,
Jamar Chase, T. Higgins.
What has it gotten
Chase
him?
Brown.
What has it gotten him?
I understand that, but I'm just going to call this an overreaction.
One good season out of 6. That's all I'm saying. There are greener pastures, Joe. Maybe time to explore.
Not this year. It's not going to happen.
Speaking of team with quarterback issues, we saw it now. The Chiefs are going to be on their 3rd quarterback when we see them play.
Unbelievable.
On Christmas Day. Unbelievable how the season turned out for them. They should sign Joe Flacco to start 2026 until Mahomes is 100%.
It may happen. They might go in the veteran market to do something like that. I was facetious the other day saying they should do it with Phillip Rivers. I was facetious about it.
I mean,
there's no doubt that they're going to sign somebody veteran to start because Gardner Minshew blew out his knee yesterday.
I know.
Unbelievable.
Awful.
Back-to-back weeks where the quarterback blows out an ACL.
And Mahomes had the 2 ligaments. It's unlikely he's going to be ready for week 1. You need somebody to start the season into mid-October.
I heard one report's like he blew out 2 ligaments and he's not going to be ready. And then another one was a Glazer who said he can already bend his knee 90 degrees. It's just like, okay, man.
How do we know that?
But Chris Olatakun of South Dakota State is going to start a Christmas night game on Prime Video against the defense I just talked about from the Denver Broncos. They're not going to go into the season waiting for Mahomes to come back with a quarterback situation that is not 100% locked up with a veteran. They'll absolutely do that. I don't know if it's going to be Flacco, but if it is Flacco's available and he wants to start for the Chiefs.
Sounds pretty fun.
I know that.
Sign me up.
100% they're going to do something like that. I just don't know who it's going to be. And I would make a call to Phillip Rivers if he plays well tonight or the rest of the way.
Give Russell Wilson another shot.
It's kind of crazy.
Could be fun.
And again, I know I'm dating myself with this, but I'll just say it anyway because I'm going to repeat it on the flagship show. Is Aaron Rodgers punched a playoff ticket for the Bears? Okay, the Patriots helped put the Steelers in a win and in playoff punching ticket scenario. The Patriots did that for the Steelers, okay? And Rodgers helped the Bears. Phillip Rivers losing on Monday night would put the Chargers in the playoffs.
Wow.
And it would put Jacksonville in the playoffs.
Right.
And it would put the Bills in the playoffs. There's 3 teams that would be put in the playoffs if the Colts lose on Monday Night Football. Phillip Rivers could punch the playoff ticket for the Chargers, who are, by the way, have won back-to-back seasons of 11 wins, okay? The last time the Chargers won 11 games in a season in back-to-back seasons was Phillip Rivers' first 2 seasons in the NFL. It's just the craziest, strangest of bedfellows,
awesome.
man.
That's awesome. It's
been
a crazy season, and I think as such, Rich, we have no clue who's going to win the Super Bowl. I think we can safely say that right now.
Yes.
You can make a case for all 14 teams, but the Super Bowl matchup that we do get will be a previous Super Bowl matchup. I'm talking about 49ers, Broncos, Rams, Patriots, Seahawks, Steelers, Chargers, 49ers, you name it, but it will be a previous Super Bowl matchup.
Look at you. I mean, how can I say this is you're out of your mind? I can't sit there and say this. Let's find out. Let's put a pin in it. It's interesting food for thought to end the pod.
Just something to throw out there.
Sure,
something to throw out there.
It's something to throw out there. But you're right. It could be absolutely anything.
Anything. This is the craziest season I can remember, and it seems like
Seahawks Steelers too.
Seahawks Steelers.
That's another one.
Maybe we'll get better officiating in that game.
The Eagles Patriots.
Eagles Patriots. Bears Patriots.
That's right. That was
85.
That was the 85 matchup.
40th anniversary of that.
Okay. Who else is in this mix here?
I was thinking about some of the I guess Packers Steelers could be fun. Rodgers against his own team, his old team.
That happened in Dallas.
That could be nice.
Yeah. It could. How about this one? It could be Panthers Broncos in Santa Clara again.
It really could be. It really could be. We didn't even talk about them today.
10 years later.
Carolina beating Tampa on Sunday.
I know.
A stranglehold on the division now.
Keeps that in the mix too. That's another one. Oh man. Yeah, brother. These are all possibles. I'll go for it.
I think we're
Sure,
getting.
why
I think we're getting a previous.
excellent
Super Bowl
food
match.
for thought.
Could
But
be
it's
fun.
all
Think about it.
It's all over the map, though.
I don't know what the color scheme says. What is the? Isn't that the thing?
Looking at the
script?
color scheme, yeah. I mean, Jaguars teal.
Oh yes.
Okay.
There you go.
Jaguars teal.
Jaguars 49ers would not be a previous matchup.
It would not. Well, the Jaguars have never made
been.
it, but they're in the mix right now. They're on fire. They're flammable. Good stuff out of you, Christopher.
Thanks, brother. What a
Thank
week.
you.
What a
All
week.
right, so here's the way things are going to work for the Rich Eisen Show for the week. We're doing our Monday show, and then we're tapping out for the rest of the week, being a Christmas week. But we are back on the air on the Rich Eisen Show on Monday, and, of course, another Overreaction Monday will be back for New Year's Eve week.
Yep.
And that's it. Have a great
Ready to roll.
Christmas, one and all.
All right, let's do it, man.
And to all, a good Overreaction Monday. For Chris, I'm Rich. Peace out. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.